We come from the world, first of all, Sweden and France.
Being right for the eyes of the other one is our profession.
When you go on stage, to come to this, to have this kick of really losing yourself, of being so in a part, in a role, that you feel that you completely, you're in a different space. I think this is a fantastic possibility.
It's part of my life. All what, how to get out of little situation, I use dance. Even if it's to jump on the street, to above something, up, it's automatic. You are like this. You are a dancer. You cross a space, you just make a little pirouette in the middle. Why? I don't know. But it is welcome.
It's like a drug in one way. When you have it, you can suffer under it. But when you don't have it, you feel bad, you feel almost sick because you miss something really. As an artist, have a possibility to maybe have 100 lives in one life. You can go on stage and you live another person, you bring out something from yourself, of course, but you can say, well, it's not me, somebody asked me to do this, but you're taking out one side of you and you try to reflect who is this person. In the end, maybe you die. And to go through this, well, in one way, it's like a therapy. It's a fantastic way to be able to live this through and do this, and you make money on it, hopefully.
Aha, okay.
Dann möchte ich gerne etwas ausprobieren mit Didi, weil er ist Akrobat und ganz toll auf Stilzen. Und ich habe diese Idee, da er kommt mit Kragen hoch auf seinen Stilzen in meinen Kokon. Aber ich habe keine Ahnung, wie das funktioniert.
You gotta come more towards the center, Lotta. More to the center. There, yeah. I can't see your face at all. Yeah, start. Stop. It's not bad at all.
Can you help me with that? I think actually he can lift me. So we do halfway and half up. And if you're not here.
Dance, and from my teachers, I've been hearing that. It's what's happened between a fixed moment to another fixed moment. It's the movement in between the two photos of a photograph who will make click, and after a click. So you have click, and you have a click, and this movement in between was dance. The rest is photo, or moments of balancing. You anyway try your best every day, and that's where is the obsession, to constantly try, because you feel that you can grow, you can continue to be better, and you hope to get more mature. So that the movement is more like the legs
the walls.
Yes.
Okay. That's it. I like that. That's good. That's strong.
After a certain time, you can control things better, and you feel that you are developing. Normally you should. If you work hard, it has to. And then it gives a fantastic feeling of being able to control yourself. I think that the discipline is one very important thing in the dance, that you're really disciplined to do your things. And this is hard, and it's a big frustration to never feel that you're good enough.
questions that we try to solve through dance. At the beginning, I never knew that dance brings answers. I thought I can bring myself to the dance, like a good serviteur, so interprète. And peu à peu, we realized that it grounded our life. For me, the dance was simply an opportunity or a provocation. It just started so bizarre. I never wish it, really personally. Does not mean I've been a dream. I was when I was a young kid, 15 years old. It happened that I put the foot for the first time in a dance studio, just because I was on the side of my mother with my sister there in the class, and the teacher asked me directly, "Do you want to dance? Would you like to dance?" And I mean, I look at inside, it was like, oh, a lot of girls there. I say, yes, I want to dance. Of course I want to dance. And she just picked me up like this, and she put me in a studio, and she told me, okay, do like that. That was a funny start. After this, you have the period of time, the education. You learn a kind of a vocabulary. It is normal. It's like more like a sport. Let's tell you don't see the art behind it. And suddenly, I get the opportunity to come to Paris to see a big company like Ballet of 20th Century, Maurice Béjart, and the day after was an audition. My teacher, who invited me to come to see for the first time this ballet, pushed me to do this audition just after, something enormous for me, 90 boys on stage in Palais des Sports, Paris. When you are just 17 years old, it's an experiment more than anything. More than anything that you can dream about, it's a fact. You are there. Somebody asks you, would you like to do this audition? It's good for you, you know. Of course, it's a new challenge. It's something new. You do. After this audition, when Maurice came to me and said, I want you in my company, I was like, oh la la, what have I done? What is it now? Somebody wants me who tried to want something out of my life, but okay. For the dream of going on tour around the world, more than what it means to be a dancer, I've done this first contract. And there, the dance come to start in me.
My dad and my mom always thought I should dance, but actually my biggest dream was to work in a zoological garden with animals or something like this. Pet store, you know, to take care of cows and horses and things like this. But they somehow took me into the Royal Swedish Ballet School, but I was always on the border to fall out somehow. That was my bringing up to this. Anyway, I got my education at the Royal Swedish Ballet School, and then I went into the company, and I stayed there as a dancer in the Opera House in Stockholm for 9 years. And after that, I was working a bit in Hawaii, Dances for Dance Company, and we were touring and performing and teaching. And then I came to Köln here as a soloist in the Opera House. That's where I met Pascal. And I stayed 7 years in the Opera House. And then afterwards we decided to stay on the free scene and make our own creations and start Extra Energy and live from our own ideas and wishes. And it's like 84, I made my first choreography. And I always started on the side to develop my own way of moving and doing, and not only doing what I was asked to do. I did that, of course, also. So I was very privileged because I was both doing a lot in the classical repertory, but I did also very many modern things. At that time, I choreographed Bugs, which was a ballet about 2 insects, which I created. But I was unfortunate to have a lot of operations. Well, until now, I had 7 operations, which is quite a lot. And when I did my operations, I was also studying in the school, and I was also choreographing, so I was completely active on my crutches.
Your body needs to move, because we move for so many years. Suddenly, you need to keep on going, and we added more. It's not anymore just the body. It's the body. It's the expression of what we have been dreaming or what we have been living through. And I came in. When I came in Germany, Jöran Riesch here in Dance Forum, who knew me from a long time ahead, makes me come there. I fell in another tempo. I was a bit too much, let's say, not inactive, but not enough used like I can have been used. I was there, and I was very happy that the choreographer liked me and asked me to come there, and I was expecting him to give me all the steps to be able to do the show. And I remember clearly this moment that one day I was really like, okay, now I don't do anything more, I wait, and he's gonna give me the steps. And he just looked at me and said, well, you're perfect like this. Stay like this, cross arm. And I was really, for me, provoked a lot by Jöran, by not giving me the possibility to express my jumps or what was for me representing a dancer. Because a dancer that was not dancing, that was not a dancer for me. I was nothing. I don't show off what I can do. And this gives my head too much possibilities to start to think, to judge the situation, to imagine that I will be better in another situation. And there the ego comes and push you to say, yeah, this is not okay like that, I'm going to find another way. Okay.
Plus the dance forum here was going through big changes, and there was not any more wanting to give the support from the state. They gave only a little bit, and we already felt like, do we really want to see it going down? Because it was a really good time before. For Jack in the Box, for instance, it was Louis Falco who came. He was the man who did Fame for TV. And I was very new in the company, and then he made us do a big audition for this, and it was very scary. We all had to go alone, sing, do anything. And the whole company was in front of you and a jury like this. And I was so afraid, like I was never in my whole life, I think. From this, I got a main role with Lorde, and we did it, and it was very hard, and I had to be a prostitute, and it was really asked to be in a very strong makeup and to be very exposing, and also in the rehearsals, he wanted us to be always on the top.
Messages keep getting clearer. Radio's on and I'm moving around the place. I check my look.
I understand that Jöran always provoked me, us probably, with new challenge. And that has been for me really the Ausbildung for the Freiberufler scene.
Wo ist meine Hose? Ach.
Music is there.
So as a freelancer, you have to be quite prepared even before to know your direction, to be able to be very quick. So it's a completely different kind of work, which is frustrating in the sense that you would have liked to give more time. And in the opera house, you have all the time, and you would like to be free.
What would life be without loose lashes?
If you have psychological, emotional problem, because this is for everybody the same. You have to be able to take everything, leave it there, you take your costumes, you go on the stage, and you become something different. And this is fascinating.
Just a little bit energy before we start to work. The location has to be found and everything is quite late.
It is not so easy. It's also tiring sometimes. But I believe that as long as you can explain to your children why, it doesn't happen so long that we are away for a longer period. I mean, that's very hard. I mean, that's really, really hard. But I think also with Indra, what is good, I can explain. We can both explain what we are doing, and she knows. And we can call and so on. With Kimi, of course, she cannot really, she can't understand really why, and this is not so easy. But okay, it's our life. Of course, it's a lot of organization. You have to be very tak. We are one day dancing, one day choreographing, one day doing both, one day teaching, and so it makes it a very rich life. But it took a long time to get here, and if we didn't love what we are doing, we couldn't do it. We would not have the energy to do it, because it's really a lot. Cleaning and shopping and make sure they are fine and school is okay and all these things. And babysitters, and Indra, I take her with sometimes. We perform together sometimes, and she knows this world.
Ich werde heute ja tanzen auf dem Boot.
Auf dem Boot?
Ja, ein bisschen so die Flügel so, also wie heißt das denn?
Bewegen?
Meine Flügel bewegen. Meine Mama wird auf einen Phantom tanzen.
Ponton meinst du? Phantom?
Phantom, meinte ich.
Ein Ponton, ha?
Hm?
Glaubst du, dass ich schaffe das?
Ja.
Du denkst nicht, dass ich falle ins Wasser? Nein, ich hoffe nicht.
They are the child of a Swedish, French person living in this situation in Germany. It's a fact. They adapt themselves very well. We are surprised. Indra speaking 4 languages, like that was my fear 5 years ago. What have we done? Which situation do we build up? What are we going to give as a grant to our children? Maybe it's a kind of in-between lands. I mean, if we will go in Sweden, we will be in her country, let's tell. It is something, one of us is not there. If we will be in France, she will, You know,
I mean, for the couple thing, that's also one thing, of course, because you're strong when you speak both a foreign language. But if one speaks his Heimat language, you know, the other one is kind of, it's much more difficult situation. That's one thing, but the other thing, I think also for our profession, Germany is much more a rich country than both.
Ja, hallo, das ist ja Lotta Swabe von Extra Energy.
Hallo, ich habe gehört, dass sie morgen nicht kommen kann für das Meeting und dass ich sollte sie zurückrufen.
Writing paper, informations, this is our most difficult word for me.
In one way, to be free is definitely not to be free, because you have to worry about making your money for the month.
Opposite.
When you're in an opera house, you have a steady income. Now we have to make sure that we also just make the normal living, and you never really know what will come in. But we are very fortunate to have very good freelancers to work with, everything from dancers, musicians, costume designers and so on. And that makes it very interesting, and it's a strong group, so we are feeling more and more we can give a work, we receive a work.
No. Anyway, so two guys, they hold a big middle screen and they tense it in between each other and put it into two stands. And then we have one guy on the stand, he has just a heart like a placard with logos and things on, and the other person on the very other side. In between them, I have two persons coming, and this is, it's May and Johan. So now, for the girls, they will come in.
At the beginning, being free means having nothing. And so we started it to put this energy and this time into other directions. This building, it takes 5 years of our time and more.
The luck was that you stopped a bit before. I stayed in the theater and I did a lot of extra job at the same time to be able to finance all this. And Pascal was building with all his heart and possibilities, everything, yeah.
We are very lucky to have had the opportunity to build up this little extra energy company. For me, it's maybe an utopia, but to create a company of freelance people, it seems not possible. But it's a bit this utopia that I continue to have.
Today there's 24 shows total, and each show does 8 shows. Each show happens 8 times.
We make a big step in the system from Pascal and Lode. So no matter how tired I am or how much back pain, it's a dream come true.
Okay.
Es ist natürlich schön, wenn man mit Leuten zusammenarbeitet, die man kennt, die man mag. Das ist erstmal privat schön und für die Arbeit ist es natürlich vorteilhaft, weil es geht leichter vonstatten. Man kann sich auf die Leute verlassen. Also nicht, dass man sich jetzt auf Fremde nicht verlassen könnte, aber man weiß ganz genau, wie der eine auf den anderen reagiert und das macht die Arbeit einfach ein bisschen leichter.
Weil da wir haben hier die Garderobe, alle die Container sind unsere Garderobe und das ist ja Kantine auch ein bisschen. Weiß nicht. Et voilà, Garderobe inzwischen, einfach schlafen.
Das ist ein Messegefühl, ne? Klar. Man muss sich immer aufwärmen, immer hin und her. Das ist klar, das ist normal. Aber wenn man das weiß, dann hat man eigentlich viel mehr Zeit als normal. Ne? Dann renne ich immer wie verrückt zu Hause. Hier weißt du, was du machst. Du musst nur einfach dazwischen, kannst du schreiben, anrufen oder etwas anderes machen. Und das ist eigentlich weniger Stress für mich, als wenn ich bin zu Hause. Es ist nur, dass ich die Kinder vermisse. Sonst ist okay. Indra hat schon viel Geschenke für mich gemacht. Aber das ist hart. Das ist hart.
Seid ihr alle fertig?
When good-looking men dance with her, I feel already that
This is nice to
it's
hear.
hard
I
maybe
don't
to
really
leave
feel
the
it like this.
dancing because she's having a lot. Yeah,
But
she's
it's
more
good
in
to
the
change.
scene.
It's good to change sometimes, I think,
Very good.
because you don't take things for granted. It's a completely different thing if you have one woman, how to lift her, and another woman has the other proportions on her body, and she has to be lifted differently. And also the energy from one partner makes you act and react differently, which is actually quite good. I think this can be quite nice sometimes. Then at the other hand, to have one person that you work a lot with makes you go further. Because like with us, we know each other so well, so if anything happened on stage, I know that if I just go like this, he would know exactly what I mean. He would know, okay, now I come and make a lift, and we can completely improvise, which I couldn't do with every person, because I don't know how the other person would react, and it takes a long time to really get to know each other so well, and to know that if I throw myself, he will really catch me, otherwise I might kill myself.
Oh, it was very easy. Huh? No way. It's true. You always, you know. And of course I was wrong.
No, but I had been half a year or something in Transform. Then Pascal came, and I know exactly how he was dressed. White pants, nothing else. And it was like a flash. I'm going to get to know this person very well. But I didn't know in what way. But it was really, I never had before in my life, very strong, I'm going to get to know this person. But it took actually months since we really speak together, because I thought he was very arrogant. And
I thought she was really not possible. It doesn't change, huh?
And then I
very arrogant and she said,
I had certain nightmares about him, his strange things. And I came to him and said, I know you're doing some black magic, so stop this. And he was very shocked. That was how we started to get to know.
Black magic.
And then we realized we're both doing healing.
Magic.
And we started to as a friendship, you know, with a good distance, just sharing our knowledges in different healing ways. Pascal with his energy lines and massage was a very, very good healer. And me with my reflexology and putting stones on the body and energies, it's like aura cleanings and whatever, all these different things. So that's how we got together. And I was the therapist of all his girlfriend problems. So Pascal was telling me about all his problems, and I was helping him out somehow.
That's what it is, apparently. Because it was so clear that we were not made for each other, that we opened more ourselves, probably, and there we discovered that actually was not that bad. No, and she's the most beautiful, so.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, but also I don't know. It's life. It's like this. It's incredible.
But I'm sure we didn't think that it was not really our decision. We just knew that we had to get together and we had to sort of help each other out. That was a very spiritual thing, actually.
I mean, I must tell that today still, when I think about how long already we are together, it's like, no, already? Oh la la, I don't even have start to live with you, or to really, you know, the life takes us and continue to give us challenge every day we have more to take care, and so we're always somehow happy to be again a little bit private together, like this, in this middle of this wave of things happening. Maybe it saves us. Maybe we're gonna make it long, and I wish it.